My day starts with a meeting. At the meeting, it's an editorial meeting. We discuss story ideas. I have to come with ideas for stories that I would like to do that day. We discuss what's already going on in the world. There may be some events that we have to cover. Then my producer basically says, okay, Danya, you are going to go to this house fire. If that's my story for the day, I immediately go out to the scene. I go there and try to get interviews with people, try to gather as much information that I can. Once we get the interviews, my cameraman or camerawoman and I then sit down, I look over the tape that we've recorded. I pick what they call sound bites, which may be about 10 to 12 seconds of the interview, like snippets of the interview. I pick out my sound bites and then I write my story around the sound bites that I've picked. So I basically use the information that I have and the information that I've gathered from interviews and put together a story. I write a script. I hand that script to my photographer, cameraman or camerawoman, and then they edit the piece together. So they are responsible for putting the sound bites that I picked with the video and all the information, and it turns into the stories that you see on the news. So once we have that edited, then I will put on some makeup or, usually you should come camera ready already to work. So I will touch up my makeup and we will usually be live at the scene somewhere. And I will have my script. I'm responsible for saying something on camera live. So I have my script of what I'm going to say. I have to dial into the station so that I can hear the programming. I think sometimes when you're watching the news and you see the reporters kind of maybe hold their ear or they're like, what do you say? That's because we have a little device called an IFB in our ear. And so when I call into the station, I can hear the programming. I can hear what the anchors are saying to me in my ear. So when they say, and Danya Bacchus is live on the scene, Danya, what can you tell us? That's when I immediately go into the information that I have and I start talking to the anchors. They roll what is my story. They call roll it because they basically play it. Then it comes back out to me and I say, I kind of finish it out with a little bit more information. And then, I say Danya Bacchus reporting live, NBC San Diego. So that's kind of how a typical day works. It's a lot of different moving parts. And some days, even when they send me out immediately to a story, if something else happens, my story can change. So I can work on a story. There's been times when I've even finished a story and then 30 minutes before it's time to go on air, they say, oh no, now you've got to go somewhere else because there's a scene working there. So we pack up all of our stuff and we book it to wherever it is that we have to go next. And then I do a live shot from that location. So when I'm reporting, that's how it basically works. When I'm anchoring on the weekends, I come in and I talk with my producer, who's basically responsible for writing all of the stories that I'm going to be reading as an anchor. We work together in trying to figure out the best way that the order of the stories in the show. And then I read over my scripts. I will do my hair and makeup and then go to set. And we have camera guys and camera women who are out there in the studio with us. They give us the countdown, all right, Don, you're on 5, 4, 3, 2. They point at me, and then I have a teleprompter that has all the information and stories that I'm going to be reading, basically scripts, and then you just read and go from there and interact with my co-anchor or the meteorologist who's there kind of doing the weather, and we do that for 30 minutes to an hour, depending on what show it is. And then I get to go home.